Hello and welcome back, guys. Today I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot a live issue. So as you know, I have installed VROps, which is a monitoring tool from VMware. We got our vCenter connected. It's been running in my environment for over, I think, 42 hours, so it's roughly 2 days. As you can see, it's already starting to give me some optimization opportunities. If I click on operations and overview, it will take me to a dashboard, similar to a dashboard, and then basically it shows me my environment. As you can see, I can see there is a lot of red, which is critical warnings on the data center London. So I want to basically see what the issue is. There isn't a lot of VMs running in my environment, as you know. So let's go on dashboards, and I want to show you quickly a particular dashboard. Troubleshoot a VM. So over here, the top one is unfortunately our vCenter server. Now, as you know, the vCenter server small deployment requires 12 gig memory and 4 CPUs. I've reduced the memory to 8 gig so that I should be able to accommodate more VMs on my host. Again, it is causing problems. So the other things are there active VMs. So this VM has a snapshot there and disk IO latency alert. So VCSA2, that's where we are troubleshooting, and then it's saying data store is the local data store of the ESX host. It also picks up that it's in this cluster, this folder, and running on this host. So most of these things are green. So why is it alerting? But the alert which we are seeing is not on data store, not on management pool, which is resource pool, obviously not in folder or the host itself, because host is having enough capacity. The issue is on the VM itself. That is why it is highlighted here. Okay, so let's quickly dive in and see what's happening. To check a VM, we go search and then go we'll search for VCSA-02, and then we will find, no, not the right, vCenter server appliance 02. There you go. And then we found our vCenter server. So on the first instance, as you can see, it is basically giving us a virtual machine disk IO latency, which is high, and the time when it was high was 2 o'clock. So what we are going to do is we are going to research a little bit now, and we are going to figure out whether the problem is, where exactly is the problem. So what I'm going to do now is quickly show you guys overview of the vCenter itself, and then we'll take it from there. So the vCenter is also having some issues where we can see it is struggling. So it's not necessarily showing us exactly what it is on VROps, but it's basically pointing on some of these issues. Okay, so I'm just going to connect my mouse and close that. So we are going to go back and use Chrome browser. I basically logged into the management interface of the vCenter, and I can see the memory has gone from 70% to nearly 80%. And look at that, at 12 a.m., which is literally not too long ago, it's 1 a.m. I think at the moment, it hit 100%. The CPU spiked and hit 100%. Not quite sure what happened there. So if we click on summary, there's an alert for memory, running low in memory, which we know of. CPU says good, but obviously I'm really bothered about the memory. So this is the vCenter we are connected to, and then I was trying to see what the alerts are. So the first alert is content library service health is not working. Second one is ESX agent manager health is not working. So there is a lot of alerts which we are seeing. And then the database alerts, Postgres SQL archive service health is alarming. Again, we wouldn't run the vCenter with such low spec in production environment. We are only doing this in lab. It did run okay for a while, but I think it's about time that I need to increase the memory and CPU of this vCenter, because I have got a new host which is Intel NUC, which has as you can see 48 gig capacity here. Nope, this is the Intel NUC here, down here, 48 gig capacity. So I don't have problem with increasing the memory. I have 10 gig memory free as well. So let's quickly right click on this, edit settings. Good thing is I have already enabled hot add, so I just, as you can see, hot plug memory and hot add, enable CPU hot add. So I can go in here, increase the CPU to 2 more, and then at the same time I can increase the memory as well. So I'll be increasing the memory to, let's go for 10 gig first and see whether it copes up. And you can see it's configuring now at the bottom here. So VROps didn't pick up that it was an issue with the CPU or memory, because it does take time to collect that information and present it. It's not a real-time tool. The real-time tool again will be vCenter. It could be any other VM you might be troubleshooting, but real-time troubleshooting basically can be done at monitor tab, and then we go advanced, and then basically look at the CPU graph in real time. So real time CPU wasn't that bad, as you can see, but if we go and see last day, so we can see a pattern here, but it's not showing any massive issues here. So we were having how much memory, as you know, around 8 gig. We increased it to 10 gig now, so that should cope up very well. What we'll be doing now is we'll go back to this section, and then we'll click on monitor again. So this is the monitor tab, and we are looking at CPU and memory at the moment. Get the disk. None of the disk is 100%, which is good. And we can look at the database as well. So alarms, I think they might be no alarms here. So if there is any alerts, then it basically will show us the spike. So let's go back and click on summary again, and we can click on vCenter. So let's start acknowledging these alarms now. Postgres archivist service health alarm. So Postgres archivist services, let's go to services. There you go. vSphere healthy with warnings. There's one alert we can see there. There you go. That is the Postgres archivist service which is stopped. This is why we are getting, and when it says automatic, it should be running, guys. And then we saw another service which was stopped, so we can start that. Archiving service is important because it will purge the database. What else do we have? We have healthy with warnings. Analytics service was not working. I was also trying to do something over here and I found analytics service is not working. I'll show you. So obviously updates are available, it says. When I click on updates, shows me the updates. The current vCenter is on 159.52599. If I click on updates, it's going to take me and it will show which build number I'm going to go to from 15 to 16. So it's obviously it's a good update. I would really be interested in that. I can click on generate report, or I can go monitor current interoperability, which will take us to the lifecycle manager. So if we click on lifecycle manager, I was getting an alert saying unable to connect to the analytical service. Make sure the analytics service on the machine is running and that the health checker for appliances are green. So there you go. VMware analytics service is automatic. That means it needs to be running all the time when it reboots. It's not manual. That means obviously it's not manually turned on and off again, but it stopped as well. So that's basically a good indication that it basically crashed. So let's start that again. This service is image builder is manual, so I'm not bothered about that. But hybrid vCenter services is also not running. Auto deploy is manual, so these services are basically not used at this moment. So we are going to wait for this service to start and then we can go back in and check it. So it wasn't much of deep dive from VROps point of view, but this is live troubleshooting of the live vCenter really, because when you see these alerts, I'm not running it to the specification which VMware suggested. That is why some of these alerts have surfaced. Reason was I wasn't having enough capacity, which is why I basically invested in getting a host which is having more capacity, and then I can dedicate this particular host on management side and run vCenter to full memory how much it needs. I have done a by the way, with the Intel NUC, I have done a really interesting video of my journey with NUC. This is the latest version, as you can see, and you see 10i5. So make sure you check it out. This one does support 64 GB, and it was quite interesting journey. I don't want to reveal any much information, but a video will be coming shortly, so keep an eye on that. So let's go back and see whether the services have started. Yep, there you go. Analytics services started. Now we can go back and see whether it is doing any better. So it's doing something. So there's another alert. FreeNAS LUN 05 data store usage on the disk. So Postgres service, this should be green now because we started it and we know it's working, so we can acknowledge that. ESX agent manager health alarm. Let's look at that. So that started. Now we are looking at ESX health manager. Actually, I did sort that out, didn't I? VMware health manager. Just something here. Where did it go? Where did it go? It was, where was it? I think it was agent manager which I did, which basically communicates and looks at health as well. But the analytics service is now started, which is good news. Let's go back and then we can acknowledge this one again. So there are some more alerts for data store. We'll look into that in a minute, but we'll click on update again. And then we can click on monitor current interoperability and see whether it can pick up more information for us, because the service is not running. The service has now started running, and then you can see the vCenter has interoperability tab here, which is really nice. We never had this previously. So upgrades, when we do that, used to affect other products which we run in our environment. So VMware has kindly put that in, integrated that in the Lifecycle Manager. So I'll be doing a completely new session on Lifecycle Manager, and it will be coming at the end of the sessions. So next session will be the next topic, which will be installing a brand new virtual machine, and then we'll look into templates and other stuff which we have on module 3. So we'll be jumping to module 3 next. Hope you like this video. If you have any questions, comment on below and let me know. As always, click like and subscribe. So there you go. There is another error message: failed to retrieve result from analytic. For more information, check the logs. So there's more information I need to collect, which I will be doing. So having vCenter running healthy should be our priority. So we need to take care of our vCenter. I'm going to basically try and do a simple fix, which is resetting the memory to what it should be, which is 12 gig, and CPU to be 6 CPUs, and I'll give it a reboot. Normally when you restart it, all these services picks up and start working anyway, and if it has the right amount of CPU and memory, then it should not cause these errors. It was purely because I was trying to be a little bit clever to save resources and spin up so many other products which I was trying to play around with, and that's why it has, backfired on me. Another great example of following the best practices standards to assign the right amount of resources which is suggested by the vendors. All right, so hope you like this session, troubleshooting session. We didn't do much on VROps, but we'll look at VROps in detail. It's a great tool. You can dig in, we can do a lot of stuff in here. We can look into other aspects as well. We'll be covering that in the coming weeks. Cheers, hope you enjoy watching. Click on subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share it with others. Cheers, bye.